This is the Brighton 2023 hand dryer special video, starting off with the hand dryer at Brighton Station in the disabled radar key toilet next to the Gents Toilets. The hand dryer here is a Phs Airstream Vitesse hand dryer, which is very powerful and dries my hands very well. The air was cool as well. And I know that this is not the most liked hand dryer, but this is the first one that I filmed in Brighton. The Gents Toilets has one of these, and 3 World Dryer Model XA hand dryers. I took this photo the day after I filmed the Phs Airstream Vitesse because the Gents Toilets was too busy to even take a picture of these dryers. When I last went to Brighton in August 2018, I remembered 4 World Dryer Model XA hand dryers, but one of them has been replaced with a Phs Airstream Vitesse. But the other 3 World Dryer Model XA hand dryers are not in good condition, especially the second one to the right, which has a big patch of rust, and the labels are worn. The Queen's Hotel in Brighton has a Blue Dry Eco Dry hand dryer in the disabled toilet in the lobby. This hand dryer is a bit loud for a disabled toilet in a hotel lobby, but the main toilets had an interesting combo. It had a Veltia V7 tree blade hand dryer and a unbranded HKJA04 hand dryer. This hand dryer was more powerful than the Veltia V7 tree blade jet hand dryer. The air was warmer and it had a blue light. And I was wondering if one of them was a replacement, but I couldn't find any signs which one was a replacement. Or it could have been that the combo was always like this. The Harvester at Brighton has initial match flow hand dryers. There were 2 of these in the Gents Toilets. These hand dryers were quite powerful and dries my hands well, but the air was quite cold. The disabled radar key toilet also has this hand dryer, and it works just as well as the other 2. The Harvester in Brighton was big enough to have 2 sets of toilets, but I could only find 1. The Breakfast Club in Brighton has 4 unisex toilet cubicles and 1 baby change toilet cubicle, also a unisex toilet, are all World Dryer Air Force hand dryers. They are all the same, but the one in the unisex toilet on the left has marks and screws on the wall where one has been replaced. But the weirdest thing is that the other unisex toilets didn't have any signs of the hand dryers being replaced. But this one in the unisex toilet on the left did have signs of a hand dryer being replaced, and it definitely wasn't a World Dryer Air Force. The unisex toilet second to the left also had a World Dryer Air Force hand dryer. One of the unisex toilet cubicles here was locked the entire time. It could mean that it was out of order, but there was no sign suggesting it. And unfortunately, this type of thing is quite common. The hand dryer at Pizza Express on Prince Albert Street in Brighton has a Phs Airstream Pure, but it wasn't working. This was in the Gents Toilets downstairs, which I found slightly trashed with paper towels. This is the first time that I've seen one of these hand dryers not working at Pizza Express. Last time I was here back in August 2018, the hand dryer here used to be a Dyson Airblade AB03 hand dryer, which has now been replaced with a Phs Airstream Pure hand dryer. This hand dryer is less than 5 years old and it's already broken. The previous Dyson Airblade AB03 hand dryer is more reliable and possibly would have still been there if they hadn't have replaced it. But a lot of Pizza Express restaurants have had the hand dryer replaced with the Phs Airstream Pures. But that's not the case with the disabled toilet, as I thought all of them had been replaced with Phs Airstream Pures. This one is still the same as it was last time in August 2018. It wasn't the most interesting hand dryer, but I was shocked to see this Zinda DrySense Ultra Dry Pro hand dryer, and I thought that this one would have been replaced as well, but it turned out it's still there. This is located in the disabled toilet at the back of the restaurant. The Red Roaster, which is a coffee shop and restaurant, has 2 Dyson Airblade VHU02 hand dryers in both of the unisex cubicles. Both of these hand dryers worked well, and the air was warm. The washroom was also quite posh here, and it's one of the nicest ones that I've been to in Brighton. The Jubilee Library in Brighton has Woolgate hand wash hand dryers. I didn't expect to see them in a library. The disabled radar key toilet does not even have a hand dryer. It has paper towels. The Jubilee Library in Brighton is one of the biggest and busiest libraries that I've been to so far. The Brighton Museum and Art Gallery has a Red Ring AD30 hand dryer in the disabled toilet downstairs. It was reasonably powerful and it dries my hands reasonably well. The air was warm and it works well. However, the Gents Toilets had an air vent hand dryer and it was the quiet version of this hand dryer. But I prefer the quiet version to the loud version of this hand dryer. Even though the quiet version is not as powerful as the loud version, well, the louder version is slightly more powerful than the quiet version. I prefer the quiet version over the loud version, and that is because some of the louder versions of this type of hand dryer sounds absolutely awful. The disabled toilet upstairs also has a Red Ring AD30 hand dryer, but this one has a slight burning smell and the motor sounds a bit worn, but it still works okay and the temperature is not any different. But this hand dryer is possibly used a lot as there was only a disabled toilet because there wasn't a gents or ladies toilets, so this toilet is heavily used. And it also doesn't require a radar key. The hand dryers at Itsu in Brighton are both World Dryer Air Force hand dryers. The unisex toilet on the left has an anti-drug lighting which makes the washroom look blue. However, the other unisex toilet has normal lighting. Either both the unisex toilets used to have anti-drug lighting or they both used to have normal lighting. There was a code system on the door to get to these toilets, but the code system wasn't working properly. There was also a disabled radar key toilet downstairs, but it was out of order. The hand dryers at Waterstones are blue dry hand dryers. They are both the same, and that's how they were last time I went here, back in August 2018. But however, since I last went to these toilets, the disabled toilet was since made into a disabled radar key toilet, which means that this toilet wasn't always radar key locked. They have also added a code system on the unisex toilet as well since last time I went here. Both of these hand dryers were quite powerful and they dried my hands well, but the only problem was that the air was too hot. Also, I had to film this hand dryer a few times because due to the lighting caused the camera focus to blur out or bounce even, which is not what I want and I get stressed by it. This hand dryer is still working well since last time I went there back in August 2018. The hand dryer at Italian in Brighton is a World Dryer Model A hand dryer. This hand dryer was quite powerful and dries my hands well, and the air was warm too. On the left side of this hand dryer is a PAT test sticker from 2003. This hand dryer must have been here since the early 2000s. The hand dryers at Marks and Spencer's in Brighton. In the disabled toilet, there's a blue dry hand dryer. This hand dryer has been there since 2018, which was the last time I came here. This hand dryer was quite powerful and dries my hands well, and the air was warm. It does start off warm, but then it gets quite hot. The Gents Toilets has two different generations of the Mitsubishi Jet Towel hand dryers. One of them is a Mitsubishi Jet Towel Slim hand dryer, which is quite new. This hand dryer was not there last time I went here in August 2018. It replaced a Mitsubishi Jet Towel 8th generation hand dryer. This is the Mitsubishi 8th generation hand dryer, which still works perfectly, but the other one has been replaced, and this is what it used to look like. This hand dryer had a cool startup sound, unlike the other one, but the other one did still have a good startup sound, but not as good as the Mitsubishi Jet Towel 8th generation hand dryer. The design of the Mitsubishi Jet Towel 8th generation hand dryer was also better. The Mitsubishi Jet Towel Slim hand dryer is just epic, but the Mitsubishi Jet Towel 8th generation hand dryer is ultra epic. The hand dryer at the King's Hotel in Brighton is a blow motion hand dryer. The toilets here required a card to get in due to security reasons. This hand dryer was quite powerful and dries my hands well, and the air was warm. This hotel is smaller than the other one. I'm not sure if there was a disabled toilet here, but I couldn't find one. But I think it's likely that there wasn't a disabled toilet here. The hand dryers at the public toilets by the i360 has got a couple of Rare Airstream hand dryers. This is in the disabled radar key toilet. This hand dryer was quite powerful and dries my hands well. The air was cold, but these can be quite loud, and I didn't used to like these as much. but now I find these hand dryers interesting, as they are now very rare. Last time I went to the main toilets here back in August 2018, the main toilets used to have the Rare Airstream hand dryers as well, but they've now been replaced with Airdri Quests. These hand dryers have been there for less than 5 years and they're already in that condition. The Airdri Quest hand dryers are reasonably powerful and dries my hands reasonably well. The air was warm and these worked well. The disabled radar key toilet next to the Gents Toilets also has a Rare Airstream hand dryer, like the other disabled radar key toilet. This hand dryer was quite powerful and the air was also cold like the other one, but the Airdri Quest has warmer air, and between the Airdri Quest and the Rare Airstream hand dryer, the Rare Airstream hand dryer was more effective at drying my hands than the Airdri Quest was. The other public toilets had accelerator hand dryers. This hand dryer was very powerful and dries my hands well. The air was warm and it worked well. The Gents Toilets also has 3 of these hand dryers, but it was too busy for me to take a picture of them. But this one that I filmed was in the disabled radar key toilet. The hand dryer at Nando's Duke Street, Brighton, has Dyson Airblade AB hand dryers. The Gents Toilets had the same thing. These hand dryers are very powerful and they dry my hands very well. The air was also warm and they both worked well. The hand dryer in McDonald's Western Road in Brighton has an Airdri Classic Mark II hand dryer. This hand dryer performs just like the Airdri Quest. For some reason the upstairs was closed off, so I couldn't see the hand dryers in the Gents Toilets upstairs, but they possibly would have had the same hand dryers anyway. Brighton Pier has 2 sets of toilets. This is the hand dryer in the Gents Toilets in the arcade at Brighton Pier. This hand dryer was quite powerful and dries my hands well. The air was also warm. But the one in the disabled radar key toilet is an unbranded Anda hand dryer, which was not that powerful, but it was quiet. The other toilet on Brighton Pier in the Gents Toilets has 2 different Kangarillo hand dryers, a Kangarillo and a Kangarillo 2 hand dryer. The disabled radar key toilet has an auto hand dryer, which is similar to the unbranded Anda hand dryer. One of the bars on Brighton Pier has a Kangarillo 2 hand dryer. This hand dryer works just like the other Kangarillo hand dryers. It was quite powerful and the air was warm. The hand dryer in the Gents Toilets at the Brighton Pavilion has a Rare N&C Olympus hand dryer. This hand dryer has been there for many years. It was there last time I went to the Brighton Pavilion back in August 2018. I am surprised that this hand dryer still works since these toilets are so heavily used, as these are the main toilets at the Brighton Pavilion by the entrance. When I filmed this hand dryer, I thought someone was going to walk in on me, but apparently it was empty for the whole time I was there. The Gents Toilets on the first floor at Brighton Pavilion has an unbranded Airdri hand dryer. This hand dryer is slightly more powerful than the other one. But just like the other hand dryer, this hand dryer was there last time I went to the Brighton Pavilion back in August 2018. The hand dryers at Wagamama in Brighton are now Bobrick Trimdris hand dryers. When I last went to Wagamama's in Brighton in August 2018, these hand dryers weren't there. They used to be Manrose Nozzle hand dryers, but they since have refurbished these toilets, and also they've moved the signs around, so the 3 Gents Cubicals are now Female Toilet Cubicals, and the Female Toilet Cubicals are now made unisex. But there is a 4th unisex toilet, but it was put out of order on the day we went. But it had a Bobrick Trimdris hand dryer like the other ones here. Starbucks on North Road has closed for refurbishment on the 1st of September, and they have just taken out the hand dryers, but I can see them through the window, and this is what I took. There was still 1 hand dryer on the wall, certainly going to be taken down. This is the hand dryer at the Bath Arms in Brighton. This hand dryer has not been there for that long, and it's already been vandalised with graffiti. But it still works though. It was quite powerful and the air was warm. The hand dryer at the Pump House pub in Brighton has an initial F5 Eco hand dryer. It is a Nicholas pub which is owned by Mitchells and Butlers. This hand dryer was quite powerful and dries my hands well. The air was warm and it works well. We also went to the Lion and Lobster pub in Brighton. The hand dryer there was an ATC Cheetah hand dryer. in brushed chrome, but it was too busy to film and take pictures as well.